Recently, the European Parliament did something nobody expected them to do. They voted to build deportation camps outside the EU, detain migrants for up to 2 years, and send people to countries they've never even set foot in. The left is calling it a European Guantanamo. Let's break down what actually just happened. On March 26, the European Parliament voted 389 to 206 in favor of the return regulation. Here's what the law actually does. It allows EU countries to build deportation centers called return hubs outside EU borders in third countries they've struck deals with. It raises the legal detention period to up to 2 years and imposes practically unlimited entry bans on anyone who gets deported. It allows deportations to countries unrelated to the migrant's origin, as long as a bilateral agreement is in place. It also removes the automatic right to appeal, meaning courts decide case by case whether a deportation is suspended during a legal challenge rather than it being automatic. This is not a fringe proposal. Greece, Germany, the Netherlands, Austria, and Denmark are already in negotiations with governments, mainly in Africa, to host these return hubs. The current system is not working properly. Right now, only about 20% of people ordered to leave the EU actually leave. 1 in 5. That means 80% of deportation orders are ignored, and until now, the EU had no real mechanism to enforce them. As one French member of parliament put it, if you come to Europe illegally, rest assured that you will not stay here. That's the thesis of this entire law. And crucially, the vote passed because the mainstream conservative EPP aligned with right-wing and far-right groups to push it over the line. That is a massive political shift. The cordon sanitaire, the unwritten rule that the mainstream never works with the far-right, is dead. The Overton window has moved permanently. Now let's look at what the opposition is saying, because it tells you everything about where the European left has ended up. One member of parliament called it a Guantanamo outside the EU. Another warned that scenes we condemned in the US, 5-year-olds being taken away by police, could become a reality in Europe. Argument against seemed to be mostly rooted in emotional appeal, Guantanamo, children, Trump comparisons. Not one of them addressed the 80% non-return rate. This isn't fully law yet. The final version now goes into negotiations between Parliament and EU member states, but those negotiations are expected to be smooth, since there are no major differences between the two sides. If it passes trilogue, implementation is expected around 2028. The one open question is search powers. Parliament actually removed a provision that would have allowed authorities to search homes and other locations for migrants under deportation orders, something NGOs compared to ICE raids. That will likely be a sticking point in the final negotiations. Here's the bottom line. Europe spent 15 years pretending the migration crisis would sort itself out. It didn't, and now, slowly, reluctantly, it is admitting that rules without enforcement aren't rules, they're suggestions. This law is far from perfect. It's 2 years of detention, not permanent. It's return hubs, not border enforcement. But the direction of travel is clear. Europe seems to finally get serious about this. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.